I'm talking with Peter Mark today, that name familiar to all opera lovers in the area.
I hope so.
And Peter has begun a new opera company for Virginia. It is Lyric Opera Virginia, and it will have a home here in Hampton Roads in Richmond and eventually in Northern Virginia. The new season has been set, 2011-2012, and we're very pleased to talk to Peter about this new season and about this new organization, Lyric Opera Virginia.
What I have done, and I guess people really know that I have loved opera all of my life, and I've been watching what works and what is more difficult, especially as times are more difficult. And it struck me that a company for the future has got to reanalyze its strategy. We no longer have the luxuries that we had before, 2 newspapers, morning and afternoon, and so much sort of free press. There's a lot of competition. People's time span is really not as long as it used to be. And I'm interested, as I always have been, in producing quality opera and being able to share it with the greatest number of people. What we have done with this opera company is create a model for the 21st century that has a better chance of survival and strength. So, what the Lyric Opera Virginia will offer, and it will offer it in a variety of new locations, such as the Sandler Center for the Performing Arts, right in Virginia Beach Town Center, which is surrounded, as you know, with wonderful restaurants and parking, etc., and also the Ferguson Center for the Arts Concert Hall in Newport News, and in several theaters in Richmond, as well as eventually Northern Virginia, is a season that presents a full-scale opera, Traviata, and with one of our best stars like Manon Strauss-Everard, and then include an American musical done with wonderful singers, operatic voices, and we've chosen King and I, which would be terrific and probably open right after the holidays and, of course, involve a lot of young kids, and close with a Jewel Box production of Carmen.
Okay, I think Jewel Box needs a definition.
Well, that's what's unusual. A Jewel Box is basically an abbreviated format for opera that is going to be excellent for gathering new audiences who don't want to sit in the theater 3, 4, and 5 hours. And I would imagine some of our regular opera audiences also would prefer to have a faster evening.
Right.
So, what is Jewel Box? It means artistically taking the jewels, the best arias and duets and the most dramatic scenes that can tell the story and weaving them into a Jewel Box production complete with fabulous singers, costumes, lighting, theatrical lighting, but maybe not a full orchestra, maybe not the full piece, maybe not a full chorus, and certainly not full and heavy scenery.
There are some purists, in quotes, who might say, well, you're doing damage to the opera, but operas have been cut and interpreted differently since time immemorial, and Carmen especially.
Well, Carmen has come in so many different versions, even, with the original dialogue as well as with the recitative version. And, Peter Brook had a very successful The Tragedy of Carmen.
Right.
They're running on Broadway. I think that ours will be much more faithful to the opera than that. And, in fact, we have a very, very good way to enter Carmen. Through the overture, you're going to see Don José getting the last rites from a priest just before his execution for the murder of Carmen. And that enables him to take a flashback immediately to when he first met Carmen, which is the habanera, which skips over about 20 minutes of choruses and the changing of the guard that may not be that crucial to the plot.
Right.
So that gives you some idea of how the cuts will be, but it will have its own dramatic integrity.
Exactly, yes. You don't lose the story and you don't lose the impact.
Oh, the whole story will be there. We will tell the story with the 4 major characters for sure. part of what we will give to our Lyric Opera Virginia subscribers is the opportunity for not only these 3 productions. Between the Traviata and the King and I'm going to present discovery concerts. I think it's no secret that one of my strongest qualities is to identify and discover young artists who are spectacular, like Manon. I want to present the best discoveries to the audience, introducing them in a more informal way. And I think that'll help people get to know them and understand the process and draw them closer to everything that we do on our main stage. The other thing is that I really am very proficient at helping singers at whatever stage, but of course I prefer the most talented singers and those that are really geared to emerging from schooling into their careers, and a lot of mid-year or mid-career artists. I hold master classes regularly, 5 days in a row, because I think that's a great format for about 18 young artists. And the bonding that happens, I've done this in New York annually and in Los Angeles annually, and I do it all over the world. The incredible transcendent experience of being able to free someone's voice in a master class while others are seeing it from the outside and learning, and anyone who's in the audience who isn't that technically involved in music can understand, because after all, everybody has a voice. And I do think that people are going to be very interested and I bet you that every shower after a master class, you're going to have people that were in the audience trying a lot of the things out that I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
But I've helped a lot of singers over the years. It's not that I call myself a voice teacher. It's that I hold these master classes from the conductor's perspective. Mm-hmm. What most people don't have from their musical coaches and voice teachers is the experience of working with a conductor who will know how to shape the phrase in coordination with the orchestra, and how to actually project the voice out over the orchestra.
Yes.
That is so second nature to me, to help people do that it is a real transcendental experience and transformative experience to be able to do that. I mean, people are so thrilled. It's like your voice is who you really are. And when you remove all the obstacles and it rings true for a singer and things become easy for them, everybody gets